Well, everybody, it's here, the quarterfinals of the G1 Climax 33, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about. So just leave a like, subscribe down below, and let's just jump into it with Tetsuya Naito versus Hikuleo. If you watched my video on nights 13 and 14 of the G1, you know that I disagreed with putting Hikuleo in this spot, because I said he's not very good, but I'm honestly going to change my tune a little bit. I do think he can be better with just a little bit more polish. This match did a really good job of putting over how strong he is with just those couple of moves, and I think if you were to add a little bit more to his game and kind of clean up some of the sloppiness that he has, I think he can look a lot better, but during this match, I thought it worked just fine. This match was mainly focused on Naito working over Hikuleo's knee to kind of control the big man, and I thought that worked really well because of course Naito's going to be the best at limb targeting. You could definitely notice the lack of time limit during this match. Both guys were kind of just working a little bit slower, giving things a little bit more time, kind of pacing themselves out, and I thought it did a really good job making them both look better than they have during the block stage. This match did get a little awkward at times. I mentioned Hikuleo was a little bit sloppy. There was a moment where they were kind of doing a running the rope spot, and then it kind of just, they hugged each other. That looked really weird, but that didn't happen all too much, so it really wasn't that bad. The end sequence of this match was really well done. There were lots of great counters by both men, specifically Naito trying to avoid the big chokeslam from Hikuleo because he knew it would just put him down, and both guys looked really smooth there. It had lots of good drama and was definitely the most attention-grabbing part of the entire match. I think I still would have preferred Kaito in this spot over Hikuleo. Hikuleo did a good job, and I thought he was fine for what he was. He shows positive signs that he could be something, but I just don't think he was ready for it. But I am happy to see that he was showing little moments of it. Naito is also heating up throughout the G1 as he goes on, and I'm buying into his run more and more because it really does seem like he's going to get the win. And, yeah, this was just very solid stuff all around. David Finlay versus Will Ospreay. We already know that Big Billy Goat is going to score the dub in a match worthy of its quarterfinal booking. If any bookers of any show want to know how to book faction warfare without it feeling like overbooking, this is exactly how you do it. This just added so much suspense throughout the match, you can't help but not mind it. When the United Empire stepped out alongside Will Ospreay to just kind of back him up to the War Dogs, honestly, I had chills. I'm not even afraid to say that. Those guys look so cold, and all those guys were great here. Cobb got kicked out early after being baited into throwing hands by David Finlay, who spit at him, and this just added so much to the crowd because the crowd really wanted Will to overcome these odds, and that man was at a disadvantage now. He just had the crowd eating out of the palm of his hand. All this faction warfare hit its peak when Finlay pulled Marty Asami as a sacrifice to avoid taking the leap of faith, and the dude got killed, by the way. But this all allowed the dogs to strike, and I absolutely loved how Okan huddled around Ospreay to protect him from taking all the kicks. That was such an effective way of showing the love that these guys have for each other, and it really made the crowd want them to win even more. Okan even took flight after starting some Oi chants with the help of Cobb, which I popped so hard for because that dude is fucking massive, and it was just so cool seeing him fly over the top rope like that. But I think it's time we talk about the quarterfinalists who put on an absolute incredible show together. And look, Finlay isn't perfect in my opinion, but when you put him in a match like this, he's really going to show up and give it his all. Finlay did a really good job of just being the dastardly heel, just fucking over Ospreay at every turn. And I think the moment that I want to mention the most is when he countered the Os Cutter by meeting him on the ropes and sweeping out the legs. There was something about that that just looked so smooth and stood out to me so much, I just can't help but mention it here. We have to talk about Will Ospreay though. This dude is on a completely different level than anyone else in the world. The way he can just flip the switch with ease and just start flying around the ring with such agility that nobody in the world can match. I swear to God, there's nobody in the world that can match his speed and just his pure fluidity in the air. You just can't help but be amazed. I mean, this dude goes from selling the shillelagh hit like it had just killed him to the next second countering the X marks the spot perfectly into a hidden blade with just incredible speed. And I'm sorry, but there's just nobody like him. Like, it's that simple. This match was just wonderful. The interference, like I said, only added to this match's drama, and the fans were just going crazy, and they just wanted to see Ospreay win so much, and I was myself included in that. I really want to see Ospreay win as well. I think Ospreay versus Naito could be legendary. They could just cook something up so easily, and I couldn't be more excited for that. But as of right now, this was such fun. I just loved it a lot. After all that fun we were having with the last match, we are now to no fun. There is no fun to be had. I said it when Evil qualified, and I'll say it again. He shouldn't have been in the spot, and he sure as shit shouldn't have advanced further than this spot. This was quite possibly the most boring match of wrestling I've seen, but definitely the most boring G1 match I've ever seen. It came across worse because this is the quarterfinals of the G1. Like, how is this allowed? We'll start with the IWGP champion, who came across as the most bland and generic dude in the sport. He wrestled with damn near zero charisma, and that's wild because I thought he was showing glimpses of it in the block stage, but it didn't come out here. He's just this stoic champion who doesn't show any emotion on his face for more than maybe half a second. Like, I'm sorry, that's not good. Then his opponent, Evil, came across as the laziest and most pathetic guy in the world, seemingly putting zero effort into this match at all. And just talking about this match, whoever put this shit together must have been like drunk or just wasn't trying, because this was just so nothing. Like, I genuinely can't name a single interesting thing that happened throughout the match itself. Usually you can point to at least some cheating spot that feels a bit more creative or has something behind it, but even those felt more tedious and sloppy than they have all tournament. Let's just go ahead and try to make sense of this right now while we're at it. In the previous match, United Empire came out to back up Will Ospreay against known cheaters in the War Dogs, because of course they did. So you'd assume that Sonata would come out with just 5 guys to go up against the most notorious cheater in the G1, right? Wrong. They were nowhere to be seen. And it further proves my point that Evil's shtick solely relies on the babyfaces' heads being filled with not brains, but fucking cement to make it work. And for that reason, it was just trash. And as you know, Evil scores the win in this match, and let's just look into what that means. It means he's going to get that autumn title shot, and he breaks Sonata's 7-match win streak in the G1 and lossless streak since he became champion. What? And I'm sorry, but this doesn't do anything to build this guy up. You know why? Because he's not good. You cannot tell me that you want to see this match again, because again, it was not good. I absolutely don't want to see it again. Maybe ever. I'm not going to ever revisit this match unless I want to torture myself. And if you're trying to build someone up into that Jay White hole that he's left since he's been gone, you know, there's no heels left is what people are saying. Why do you have to choose Evil? Choose someone better than him. At the end of the day, I can understand why they made this choice. I'm not dumb. I understand they're trying to build Evil up to fill that heel gap, and maybe one day I'll understand it, but as for right now, I so wish they went into a better direction that's just more compelling to me, because Evil isn't compelling to me, and that's all I gotta say about it. Let's get to the main event, because that shit was real music. Kazuchika Okada versus Zack Sabre Jr., and I don't even know what you can say about this match, except that these guys are some of the best in the world. You could truly feel the tension through the screen in this match. Zack Sabre Jr. was just so determined to win, and you couldn't help but feel that energy and just start to root for him. The story of this match was wonderful. Zack at first was not prepared for this new fiery Okada who has death stares that make you want to just run away in the other direction as fast as you can, and it truly caught him off guard, but as he went further and further into the match, he started gaining his confidence and could catch these moments where Okada was just being too arrogant, and he could become too predictable, so Zack could use those moments and just strike and just hit him with one of those pretzel-ass submissions that he gets him in. It was wonderful. There was a point in this match where it seemingly just got personal and the energy just shifted. These guys had a crazy elbow exchange that looked movie-esque. It was just like a close-up shot of them throwing elbows, and it just looked insanely hard. And then that slap battle they had at the end, it looked like they were using every single bit of muscle fiber in their arms to throw out those slaps. That shit was so hard. And while Zack had an answer for almost everything Okada was throwing out all match long, Okada just eventually caught him with a Rainmaker, and that was just a heartbreaker for Zack, and I really hope he has a G1 Finals run one day, because he is so damn good, and the kind of like, I don't even know how to describe it, just the intensity he puts inside of these kind of matches is on another level. I don't have much to say except for Okada and Zack put on a masterclass in in-ring storytelling, and honestly their work was incredible, and anyone who hasn't seen it needs to go out of their way to watch it. I love that this is what closed out the quarterfinals because it simply just left me feeling good. And with that, let's take a look at the semifinals, where Will Ospreay will take on Tetsuya Naito and Kazuchika Okada will take on Evil. Now we can be pretty sure that Naito's going to beat Ospreay, even if me personally, I would love to see Ospreay get the win just as a big Ospreay fan, but I'm okay with that. When I talked about their matches earlier, I said they can put on a great match, and I'm really excited to see what they come up with. And when you compare it to the other match of the semifinals, it looks like the clear match of the night. But you know, if there's anyone that can have a good match with Evil, it's a pissed off, ready to get to the finals Okada, and I can honestly say I'm looking forward to it still. Now, I've heard people say that Evil should beat Okada. If you're saying that, you're crazy. If Evil beats Okada, I think I will break down a little bit. But all we can do is wait, and while you wait, you can leave a like on this video, you can comment down below, you can subscribe to the channel if you enjoy wrestling content, and with all that being said, much love to you all, peace.